Well, his name alone instantly evokes emotion when people remember the September 11th attacks. Todd Beamer was one of the heroes on board United Airlines Flight 93. His last words before he stormed the cockpit of his hijacked plane, "Let's roll."
So let's get to the point. Let's roll another joint. Let's head on down the road. There's somewhere I gotta go. And you don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me.
Seconds later, Beamer and his fellow passengers tried to regain control of the aircraft, possibly preventing it from hitting another target. Flight 93 crashed into the ground in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and 10 years later, they have released some of the audio of the final moments on board that flight. You can actually hear one of the hijackers acting as the captain on the tape. It is a disturbing reminder of what happened on that day.
You got United 93? United 93, yeah, descended. What's that? I just saying, it looked like you descended there. United 93, verify 350.
They got some distance now. Keep remaining steady. They have the ball for us. So,
Calling Cleveland Center, you're unreadable. Say again slowly.
here's the captain. I would like to roll to remain seated. All aboard and don't back to the airport. And our demand, so people remain quiet.
Okay, it's United 93 calling. United 93, understand, have a bomb on board. Go ahead.
Everyone you've killed, I've been watching you.
93, Cleveland Center, I got place. United 1523, did you hear your company, did you hear some interference on the frequency here a couple minutes ago, screaming?
Yes, I did, 797, and we couldn't tell what it was either.
Okay. United 93, Cleveland, if you hear the center, I can.
An American 1060, a ditto on the other transmission.
American 1060, you heard that also?
Yes, sir, twice.
Roger, we heard that also, thanks. I just wanted to confirm there wasn't some interference.
Is that 956?
You heard the 956, Bill?
I heard it answering your call. We did hear that yelling, too.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what's going on.
They got some distance now. Keep remaining steady. They have the ball for us. So,
Calling Cleveland Center, you're unreadable. Say again slowly.
Sir, did you hear the transmission where the airplane just said he had a bomb on board?
Say again, was that United 93?
Yeah, that transmission he said was unreasonable. It sounded like someone said they have a bomb on board.
That's what we thought. We didn't get it clear. Is that United 93 calling? Sector 956, that aircraft we believe was transmitting is 12 o'clock, 5 miles, turn left heading 225. I'll get you away from him. Okay, he's climbing, so I want to keep everybody away from him.
Okay, I think we got him in sight.
Well, the 1989, that traffic views at 11 o'clock and 15 miles southbound. 41 timing, looks like he's turning east by heading 360.
here's the captain. I would like to roll to remain seated. All aboard and don't back to the airport. And our demand, so people remain quiet.
Okay, it's United 93 calling. United 93, understand, have a bomb on board, go ahead. You got your 956, did you understand that transmission?
Affirmative, he said there was a bomb on board.
And that was all you got out of it also?
Affirmative.
93, go ahead.
That aircraft you can't get a hold of, is he turned to the east now?
He's just turned to the east also. United 93, you're here Cleveland Center. Okay, American 1060 and Executive 956, we just lost the target on that aircraft.
Okay, 956, we had a visual on him, just stand by.
Do you have a visual on him now?
We did, but we lost him at the turn.
You can make a turn back to 220 heading, let me know if you can see him.
Yeah, he's still there, we got him for 956.
You still there? Northwest of you, about 25 miles?
Affirmative for 956.
Executive 956, fighting 180.
Okay, we're making a turn for 956, he appears to be heading right towards us.
American 1060, do you see anybody northwest of you? Can you shoot back that far there?
We're looking now, sir.
United 93, Cleveland, do you still hear the center?
Every bomb you make, I've been watching you.
United 93, do you still hear Cleveland? United 93, United 903, do you hear Cleveland? United United 93, United 93, Cleveland. United 93, United 93, here's Cleveland Center.
Do you see any activity on your right side, smoke or anything like that?
Todd Beamer left behind 2 young sons and a wife, Lisa, who was nearly 4 months pregnant at the time. His daughter, Morgan Kay, was born the following January. Joining me now, Todd's father, David, who has spent the last 10 years educating the public about the story of Flight 93. David, thank you so much for being here. Those tapes are a startling reminder to the rest of us of the reality of that day. You require no reminder.
Good to be with you, Megan. And I must say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Adolf Hitler rose to power the same way George Bush did. It's the simple Mickey Mouse routine that it works every time. I'm ashamed of this country, and I'm ashamed of the people who call themselves Americans who drive around with a damn silly-ass flag on their car and not even realize that's not an American flag. All you got to do is do your homework. You find out that is a United States flag. And it's not even an original United States flag, because an original United States flag has these stripes going vertical, not horizontal. But who the hell knows that? Who cares? I mean, we just put a flag on your car and drive around like a fool.
I'm happy to be with you this afternoon and your many, many viewers. Yeah, we don't need a reminder about what happened now 10 years ago. You know, in one sense, it seems like the 10 years have gone by quickly, but of course there have been some very long days. But you know, this week I've spent a few days here in Ohio visiting with some school children here. Bless their hearts. They are working to see that the Flight 93 National Memorial not only has Phase 1 done, which will open this weekend, but seen full completion with Phase 2. These kids have been raising support 93 cents at a time.
Wow. And
it's been wonderful to see their smiling faces and their innocence and their hard work. And by the way, I did observe these kids saying and pledging their allegiance to our flag. It was a very uplifting experience.
Hard to break every Irish wake. I've been watching you.
Never cease. You know, I want to ask you, sir, because that obviously things have been shared with the family that haven't been shared with the public, but that is, for many of our viewers, the first time they've heard those disturbing cockpit voice recording tapes. You know, your reaction when you hear that level of detail of what was going on board Flight 93?
Well, Megan, we know what happened. We know that we have an enemy, and we're reminded every day, even though it's been 10 years, and of course even today, you know, we are once again on heightened sort of alert with lots and lots of brave first responders and police officers and all kinds of people preparing for the worst.
On scene September 11th. So why is Bloomberg banning firefighters and cops from the 9/11 ceremony at Ground Zero? The factor
we're doing our best to be ready to combat and prevent another terror event. But you know what I'm also reminded of this day, that we're doing a very good job of preventing and looking about this tactic of terror from our enemy. But I don't think we're doing a very good job at all about defending against another tactic that they're using. They use a tactic daily of infiltration to achieve their objective. Because make no mistake, they don't want us saying the pledge. They don't want us saluting the stars and stripes. Their goal is to fly the flag of Islam over our White House.
After getting rid of all the White House Bibles, he proudly announced their replacement.
For the first time in our nation's history, we've added a Quran to the White House library.
So, the big mystery is not President Obama's secret Islamic faith, but why he won't simply admit to being the second Muslim commander-in-chief of the United States of Mecca. Assalamu alaikum.
Islam is peace.
And their tactic of infiltration with organizations like the Muslim Student Association, Muslim Brotherhood representatives in all levels of our government, the organization CARE.
You haven't answered my question with respect. I asked you what you make of the comments from the head of NATO, in essence, Admiral Stavridis, saying within the Libyan opposition they believe there may be flickers of Al-Qaeda. That's a very serious comment to make.
Who exactly the rebels are. There have been reports that there are Al-Qaeda elements that are working with the rebels, if not leading the rebels.
It's extremely concerning. I haven't, this is the first actually that I'm hearing of this comment and this statement.
That's my whole point.
I know really stands for constantly advancing the Islamic regime. We are too much in a state of denial about the tactic of infiltration and what over time may well do to our republic. That concerns me greatly.
Those who subjugate, those who violate.
And I know clearly there are some questionable characters involved in some of those groups and others who mean only to advance legitimate causes in this country. But as I hear you talk about them, I can hear still some of your pain from the events that happened in your life that changed your life. I mean, the country's life, of course, the country itself, but your life in a very real and palpable way. And I wonder, just looking at you and thinking again about Todd's story, when you go back to it and you think about what he went through and the courage it must have taken, God, you just must be so proud.
We're very proud of Todd and 39 other free people on Flight 93 that day. They had the opportunity to fight back. They did. It was a counterattack. It was a victory. As you have well stated, that the intent of the enemy was not to crash in a quiet meadow outside of Shanksville, Pennsylvania. I believe our nation's capital was the target, and that part of their mission that they'd been planning for years was not a success. The counterattack was a victory. And yes, the Beamer family, Lisa and the kids, Todd's sister, the whole Beamer clan, we miss him terribly. There's a hole in our family, just like so many, many other families. Not only that day, but in the days and the years since, where so many brave Americans in carrying on the fight to protect our liberty and freedom and defend our Constitution.
They talk about the Constitution when it pleases them, but when it doesn't please them, like going to war without a declaration. Go bomb Iran. You know, they might get a nuclear weapon. Well, is there a declaration of war? Why isn't it? Some people, think we should obey the Constitution sometimes, but another time.
So that wasn't so bad. You didn't want to explain that to O'Reilly?
Well, he wouldn't have understood it.
Thank you very much.
Sacrifice their all. And we remember those families, and we pray for our military every day. And I know what it's like when someone either would knock on the door or that family gets a phone call that lets them know there's going to be a hole also in their family for the rest of their lives. We miss Todd terribly, but we're so proud of what so many Americans continue to do to preserve our republic.
What a wonderful Sunday morning in our glorious People's Republic. Better check my mandatory government calendar. I wonder what I get to do today.
Our way of life, our freedoms and our liberties from those who would take it away.
Every bomb you make, every job you take, every heart you break, every Irish wake, I've been watching you. Every wall you build, and everyone you've killed, every grave you fill, all the blood you spill, I've been watching you. Oh, can't you see? You belong to me. There'll be a bill to pay on that judgment day for every empty place.